It is 5 p.m. on September 9th, 2024. This is a regular board meeting for the Monroe School District. Present are myself, President Bumpus. We have Director Barnes, Director Campbell, Director Edscorn. Director Whitfield will not be able to join us today. We have student representatives Sophia Willett and Myron Robinson, Superintendent Sean Woodward, as well as district leadership team, school district staff, and members of the community. Members of the public can log into the regular board meeting using the Zoom link attached to tonight's agenda that is found on the board docs website. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to tonight's meeting. We are so happy to have you join us. All comments during tonight's meeting are audio recorded and will be available online on our website. This is in addition to the written minutes. Please understand that while it may appear the board is moving quickly on important matters, there have been previous discussions on these issues either in earlier meetings or in board workshops, which are also open public meetings. Each director has had ample time to study the issues, ask appropriate questions, and obtain satisfactory answers from the superintendent, his staff, or through outside research. Those wishing to address the board during public comments must turn in a public comment form prior to the start of the meeting at 5 p.m. Any forms submitted after the meeting has started will be held for the next meeting to address the board at that time. Okay, agenda item 4.05, is there a motion?
I move that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approves the agenda dated September 9th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the Monroe School Board of Directors approves the agenda dated September 9th, 2024. All in favor, raise your hand. The agenda item has passed 4-0. Moving on to agenda item 5.01, oath of office. The oath of office will be administered to our new student representative, Myron Robinson. Yeah. Yeah, I'll stand over there. Not work. Oh, there we are. Okay. Hey, Myron.
Hello.
Okay, so we're gonna go through it line by line. All right. I state your name,
I, Myron Robinson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of
and
Washington,
the state of Washington,
and I will faithfully perform
and I will faithfully perform
the duties of student representative
the duties of student representative
of Monroe School District
of Monroe School District
number 103
number 103
in the county of Snohomish,
in the county of Snohomish,
state of Washington,
Washington,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Welcome, Myron Robinson, student rep.
Thank you.
Like, do you want us to just like all crowd over there, Aaron? Okay, welcome to your first meeting, Myron. Okay. All right, moving on to agenda item 6.01, we have a CTE end of year compliance report and four-year planning. We have Director of College and Career Readiness, Shannon Terrick.
So I'm going to share the mic today with Darby Vigas, who's our new CTE TOSA due to some role shifting that's happening with me. And I'm going to pass it over to Darby for two reasons. Number one, I am not feeling my best tonight. I had a little injury. And number two, she's jumping into the fray. So I'm going to be here to support her, but I'm going to let her have the mic.
Bear with me. This is my first board meeting. We do have a slide deck. It's been shared. Okay. Yeah. It's the PDF, the slide deck. Yeah. Awesome. All right, so in CTE here at Monroe School District, we have a mission to provide our students in the district with opportunities to engage in work-based learning, quality, robust programs, and we want this all to align with our strategic plan and the things that are going to get our students college and career ready upon leaving high school. So that's our main goal and what we're going to talk about today in this little presentation. So our CTE program areas are listed there. We do cover all 6 of the areas that CTE provides. And if you click on the link there, Jesse, it shows the courses the actual courses that we offer. This is similar to what we did last year. We have not changed any of those because we do cover all the different areas. That's the high school. And if you scroll down a little bit, there's Hidden River and Park Place. And at the middle school levels, 7th and 8th grade can be CTE classes. There we go. All right. So our CTE end of year compliance report is something that the state asks us to do every year. And it covers the different elements that we need to talk about, including our advisory program or committee on program evaluations, CTE 4-year planning requirement, which is something that I'm going to ask you all to look at and somebody to sign off on. And some big accomplishments. And specifically it asks us to list out our instructor data and some professional development. That's one of the big factors that they do here. And we use this to, in our Perkins grant that comes up, that helps us with our enhanced funding for the programs. All right, so this is the actual laws that make us have us do this kind of stuff. And if you wanted to click on any of those, it kind of shows the state of Washington stuff. I don't know if you want to click on one of those. Oh, sure.
I would just add also that this is the stuff we have to report on for end of year report. So these are the qualifying standards and the RCWs.
Yeah. The reason behind it. All right, so this is the 4-year planning document that I would like to expand and look a little bit more at. We won't go through every little box here, but this is all of the different things that that those RCWs were asking us to look at and our different criteria for our program. We did this year align the strategic plan. Can you slow down just a little bit? Yeah. We did align the strategic plan goals with those goals. So it really falls together very, very nicely that what we're doing in CTE is supported by what's happening in the district, and it all kind of goes together that way. So.
And each year we add to this. So it's a running document. We don't typically go back and mess with any of the things that we've had planned. We may add piece by piece. Jesse, can you stop, please? And So as we do that, you can see that this progressively, like they get a little bit larger and larger because we're using the information that we gather from our program evaluations to build this out each year. So our advisory committee that meets 3 times a year, plus our program advisory committees that meet also 3 times a year, different 3 times. So all provide input on this. And so that's how this is built out.
Excuse me, Shannon. I think it was about this time last year, you walked us through a rubric. Does it correspond with this as well? Okay.
So those just love the mic. Those program evaluations is the rubric that you're referring to. So those program evaluations that I'm saying build this out, that's what built that. And those are linked in part of your documentation that you got today. The ones, I just didn't print out all of them this
That's
time
okay.
around because they were pretty long.
Yeah.
So saving a tree. So, but yes, that rubric completely aligns with this. That's what we evaluate as a team, and it's our teachers and our industry partners, as well as other staff from around the school that contribute to building that input.
Thank you.
If we can go back to the slide deck.
All right, and so one of the big things that we get to talk about is our major accomplishments. This is all about the students and what their experiences are. So those photos up there are all different programs and different things that they are doing, specifically work-based learning type of experiences. We've got science, egg science, where they're planting some trees. The FFA had their officer picture. There's a bake-off, I believe, the potato bake-off, I think at the middle school, and then some sports med practical experience. So all of those things, these are some kind of highlights that are on there. Increasing work-based learning opportunities is a big thing that we are doing as we kind of get the kids back into the things that we know make CTE such a powerful experience for them. And that's it. Are there questions?
Yes, is the robotics team part of the CTE program?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So all CTE program areas, so the curricular program areas, CTE is what's called co-curricular. So you have your actual classroom experiences, and then each program area has an associated extracurricular piece that is where we have students take some of the practical things they learn in the class and actually go and apply it outside of that. So DECA, FFA, FCCLA, sports med or WCT, SMA, and robotics. First Robotics can also fall under Technology Student Association. We use First Robotics here. It's not a state qualifying CTSO, it just doesn't meet their criteria, but we use it here in Monroe as another leadership opportunity. So all of our courses have to have a related leadership component to them. And that's the one that we use for our skills and tech courses.
Thank you.
The funding pieces for this as well come from CTA earmarked funding, correct?
Can you, sorry, say that?
The funding components for this also come straight from
Correct.
CTA dollars, correct?
The enhanced funding pays for, every student's a general ed student first. And so it's covered there, but the enhanced funding experiences like the field trips and those type of things, those are all out of the CT dollar budget.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Darby and Shannon. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I
Thank
hope
you.
your thumb feels better.
Thanks.
Okay, moving on to agenda item 7.01. We have our student reps highlighting student activities throughout the district. Probably talking about your first week back at school. Okay.
Well, it's right there. I was looking at like down here. The first week of school has been good. I realized that the phone policy has actually been working a lot, like already being back only for 2 periods. You can tell people are already talking to each other a lot more, other like when they were usually just sitting on their phone. So I don't think it's been that bad. And personally, I haven't seen that many people complaining about it. I mean, probably they are, but not to me at least. I haven't heard like a lot of negative stuff. So I like that. And it's just been a good start. I'm excited. I'm excited for the football games. We won our first football game, which good job, my friend. And then, yeah, I'm just excited. I love fall and I love the first start of the school year is always nice.
Um, I
Can you,
was,
how about Myron, you tell us a little bit about yourself?
um, okay, well, my name is Myron Robinson and I run track and I play football. And I am one of the presidents of Monroe High School's BSU club, Black Student Union. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do at the high school, other than good grades, I guess. um, Pretty much I agree with Sophie. So far, school has been really good, especially with the no phone policy. Like Sophie said, I don't really hear a lot of kids complaining other than like the kids that don't really do their work. But yeah, um, so far it's going pretty well. Like Sophie said, kids are talking to each other more, as to where in the past they would have their phones, they just sit on their phones and watch Netflix or something. And I do feel like it's starting to affect the kids in a positive way with getting their work done. So that's pretty well. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, this is for both of you. What are you most looking forward to in the next couple weeks of school? Like one of your favorite things?
Pep assemblies, football games, and homecoming's next month. But I just love like the beginning of the year, all like the events and stuff.
I'm gonna have to agree with Sophie on that. The games and the pep assemblies. The pep assemblies are actually really fun. And honestly, just getting back to school and being around different people, because it is like over the summer, it's kind of like boring if you just sit at home and like just see the same people every day. Yeah, instead of like in school, like you get to interact with the teachers and talk to different people, and you never know what the day is going to bring. So it's kind of exciting to just start a new day with different people and interacting with the teachers.
Okay, just because I'm a curious person. Is there a teacher that stands at the top of the list for you that you really enjoy being around or interacting with?
Um, I would have to go at the high school. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her. Her name is Jessica Mason. She's pretty awesome. I like her. She's pretty cool. Um, she's more of like, I honestly don't know how to explain it because she helps around with a lot. She's in the math classes and she always helps with like, I would say kids that are more challenged. So she's pretty all over the place, but she's really good. One assembly we nominated her for teacher of the month because everyone just really likes her and she's a really good person to be around. She's always making some joke and making you smile. So that's pretty good. We need more teachers like that.
Um, my favorite teacher since sophomore year has to be Sarah Foster. I had her for AP World Psychology and Modern History, and now I'm TAing for her. And she's always been a really great teacher. She cares a lot about her students and always has like snacks, and like her classroom's definitely like the safe space. Like she wants to make kids like make sure their needs are met. So I really like her.
I was just curious as you guys are getting ready, and I love hearing about your experiences, but also, do you feel like there is a excitement for the rest of the student body? Are students apprehensive about being back? Are they excited about being back? What is like the temperature of the school district that way, or the high school that way, as you guys see it?
I think they're excited to be back. I feel like everybody's always excited at the beginning of the year, especially like as you're getting older and they're like newer kids are coming in, so you get to meet more people. I think it's been good, especially like going in my senior year. Like I feel like people get closer as they go into like their senior year because there's nobody like that you really have each other and you guys are all like getting ready to leave together. So I think it's been really positive.
Um, I agree with Sophie. I feel like everyone is really excited to get back, and there's just getting to meet the freshmen. That's always fun because you never know what like type of energy they're gonna come on in with the high school with. There's some that are gonna be sad, happy. So you really just get to interact with them and see how they're doing. Just like check up on them, I guess. So that's what I'm excited about. I get to see the freshmen and help them out.
As a mom to a freshman, I really appreciate hearing that. Thank you. That's a little less scary for my mama heart. I appreciate you both sharing and just look forward to seeing what else you share. I was talking to some students on my way out of the high school the other day, and I ended up talking to them for like 10 minutes. Security guy had to come get me. He's like, "Who is this lady? Just park there." But we were talking about different clubs and sports and things that they could do, and have access to as students. So I just look forward to going and visiting with you all as well throughout the school year. Thank you so much. And Myron, we're so excited to have you here. Okay, agenda item 7.02, public comment, and we have one tonight. We welcome and value public comment on educational issues and recognize the importance of the opportunity for members of the public to express their thoughts to the school board. It is a policy of the Monroe School District to promote mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct among district employees, parents, and the public. We kindly ask that you refrain from comments that violate school district policy. Individuals are asked to limit comments to 3 minutes. A designated speaker for a group is asked to keep comments to 5 minutes. If you have a personnel concern, any staff member in the room can help with how to go forward with a complaint about personnel. The board does not respond to public comments during the business meeting. Please know that the board's silence is neutral. It is neither a signal of agreement nor disagreement with the speaker's remarks. The president may interrupt or terminate an individual statement when it is personally directed, abusive, obscene, irrelevant, targets a protected class, or exceeds the time limit. As the board president, I will determine the appropriateness of all such rulings. When I call your name, please step up to the microphone. If attending the meeting virtually, please join us as a panelist, allow video, and unmute your microphone. First up, our first speaker is Drew. Drew, your name and your relationship to the school district.
My name is Drew James. I represent the Ward Roney Junior VFW Post 7511 here in Monroe. So those of you that may not know what the VFW is, we are Veterans of Foreign Wars. And essentially I'm here to speak again this year on our scholarship opportunities for students. So obviously I'm glad that you're both here. Congratulations, Myron, on being elected here. These are probably some things that you may or may not have heard about, whether at the high school level or working up through the elementary school level. We do have essay opportunities all the way from 3rd grade all the way up through the high school. So these are scholarship opportunities that you can utilize for college scholarships. And there's a couple different levels of those. So I'm just going to kind of briefly go through these really fast. The first one is the youth essay form, and I will actually pass this off to you that all the school board members here happen to have copies of these. So these are for all the students from 3rd grade through 5th grade. Each submission is due to the local VFW post here on October 31st. This year, we're changing things up a little bit. We're using QR codes to submit entries this year. So yes, the VFW with a whole bunch of older veterans is finally getting into the technological age. I'm glad we need to get there. So the Patriots Pen and the Voice of Democracy. So Patriots Pen is for 6th grade through 8th grade, and the Voice of Democracy is for 9th through 12th grade. So there's a little bit more specifics on these here. I will definitely give this to both of you so that you have copies. Again, we will try and coordinate and get this up on the walls in the school. I have a meeting with the superintendent Thursday to kind of talk a little more specifics and details on how to move forward. We also have art contests. So we have a 3-dimensional patriotic art contest. We actually had a student that created a 3-dimensional heart and painted an American flag on it. And it actually won at the national level 1st place, and the student won $2,500. So that's a good opportunity for students there. Then we also have a Young American Creative Patriotic Art Contest. Couple different ones, scholarship opportunities. First place for this one is $15,000 as well. These art contests are due March 31st to the post. So I will give these to you. Now on to the next most important thing is our Teacher of the Year entry submission. So both of you talked about teachers that impact you. You both can write up your teacher for a nomination to win. I know that the school board recognizes students every single month throughout the school year. So I would like to ask that the board submits all of those entries to the VFW this year and allow us to go through and determine who the winner would be rather than just one and we're kind of stuck with it, if that makes sense. Not in a bad way by any means. So in the past, Monroe has actually won first place in the state 2 years in a row. So fortunately, we didn't win last year, but hey, there's always next year. I'm looking forward to it next year. I'm actually going to be the state commander. So if it's here within Monroe, that kind of means to us. So is there any questions as it pertains to these scholarship opportunities? All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Drew. Okay, agenda item 8.01, we have consideration of resolution number 5-2024, public access to school district records. Is there a motion?
I move that the Monroe School District Board of Directors adopt board resolution number 5, 2024, public access to school district records.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the Monroe School District Board of Directors adopt board resolution number 5-2024, public access to school district records. Discussion.
Sean, can you just walk us through really quick the difference and
Got our friend Aaron coming up to talk a little bit
Aaron,
about
perfect,
this.
thank you.
Hello. So this is just an updated version of a resolution that was passed by the board in 2006. This is a WASDA model resolution, and it's been adopted by the majority of other local school districts around us. A new resolution is necessary because the RCW it refers to has been updated. So if you compare the two, there's a different RCW number, and the language has been simplified. The reason a school district would need this resolution is that the Washington Public Records Act requires that all public agencies must maintain and make publicly available an index of all public records requests. So if someone were to stop in our office and ask for an index of all our public records requests, we'd have to provide that on the spot. However, agencies may be exempt from maintaining such an index if to do so would be unduly burdensome, as long as they publish a formal order, or in our case, a resolution. So we do keep an internal log of all our public records requests. However, maintaining a public index of those requests would be added work for a public records officer, because all personally identifiable information would need to be redacted when she posts that index. So for example, if a parent does a public records request asking for records of an incident involving specific students at a specific school, all of that identifiable information would need to be redacted in the index. Almost all of our public records requests contain personally identifiable information, so it would be a lot of redacting for her to maintain and keep that up. Of course, a list of public records requests will be made available if a member of the community formally requests it, but maintaining a public index would be added work to an already heavy workload for a public records officer. So that's why this resolution is needed for most school districts.
Any questions? Okay, all those in favor, raise your hand. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Motion has passed 4-0. Moving on to agenda item 8.02, consideration of updated revisions to policy 2410, high school graduation requirements. Is there a motion? Oh, there's no motion. First reading. Okay.
So, Sean, can you walk us through this?
Yeah, you betcha. So this one's kind of a strange one. So if you open up that policy, it'll look like almost nothing has been recommended, except for the legal references at the bottom. So what I'll send you tomorrow would be the procedure revisions that basically go deeper into what's going on. And essentially, there was a new law that is requiring districts to really do outreach when it comes to dual credit courses, college types, opportunities for college credit, et cetera. I think it's a great law. It's just make sure that everybody realizes that you can do this in high school and get college credit. So that's our procedure. We'll have probably 4 or 5 different changes. And obviously that doesn't require board approval, but the policy will be in the legal references, but I'll send that to you tomorrow so you can see that.
Does this have any effect on our actual graduation requirements for our students as far as credits and different subject areas? And things like that?
No,
Okay.
just kind of.
Want to
our
make sure and
outreach.
ask that out loud. We have two parents of high schoolers here, and I know that would probably be a big one for our high school parents to want to know, or our student representatives going, do we have to change things now?
Yes, nope, not at all.
Okay, thank you.
I looked around for a little bit, like, who is he talking about? Who else has a high schooler here? It's me.
It's you. Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
not fun. Okay. Okay, moving on to agenda item 9.10. We have the approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I move that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approve all items as listed and presented in the consent agenda dated September 9th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approve all items as listed and presented in the consent agenda dated September 9th, 2024. All in favor, raise your hand. The agenda item has passed 4-0. Moving on to agenda item 10.01, we have superintendent update. Superintendent Woodward.
Well, it's gonna be fun hanging around with Sophia and Myron with their positivity and their excitement about starting school. Thanks for the update. Especially, I was really curious about the cell phone piece. Like, it'd be neat if you were to weigh in with your thoughts and your ideas. I think it's kind of been a little bit of a slow start because kids are just getting used to it. So I know it's hard for our students to follow through because it's just such a part of, it's like an extension of your body, right? So more to come on that. Jesse, if you could put up the enrollment slide, I'll give you a quick update on our enrollment today. Oh, by the way, today was the first day of kindergarten. Some of you were in buildings, I know. So they're all back. Every single one of our students are back in action. We have, oh, not Sky Valley. I'm so sorry. They're just doing learning plans, right? Thanks, Molly. Sorry. I did Holly and I went out to Frylands and Frank Wagner today, and the kindergarten kids are funny because they want to engage with adults, right? So we're out on the playground having fun talking to kids, and a kid asked me to tie his shoe because he said he couldn't tie it, and I'm like, well, first of all, it is tied. It's just tied in lots of knots. So you know how to tie a knot. So I did spend maybe 10 minutes trying to get this kid's shoes untied, but it was a blast. So looking around the district, we have a favorable trend it's looking like in our enrollment. And I know Brenda sighs a great big relief when she sees that her numbers are looking great as far as what we budget the district based on what student numbers. And you can see that I don't have the actuals for the high school or Sky Valley yet. But if you look at the 5th day of school in 2023 up against this year today, and again, these are still a little bit rough. And then you can see what Brenda budgeted for and what you adopted your budget on. You can see that we have in every case, and I'm sorry, I should have, this is a terrible graph I put on here. It's K1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's not what it is. I'm so sorry. It's by school. I cut the darn school's name off. That would be Maltby, Shane Lake, Salem Woods, and then second is Frank. I'm so sorry. And then let's see, 503 would be Salem Woods. Frylands is 401. And then what's my 5th one? Maltby. There we go. And then Park Place Middle School is 748. And then Hidden River is the 300 or the budgeted number 300. So you can see that we are above, which is a good issue to have, especially when the actual enrollment doesn't require hiring a whole lot of new staff members, right? What we don't have on here though is The high school is not going to be clean for probably a week or so, but it's looking like our Monroe High School numbers will be increased as well. So yeah, at Sky Valley will be way up there. A little bit of a drop at Leaders. So it's great. I know last year we were maybe a little bit less than projected. We're going to be a little bit more than projected. So that's great news. What will be really interesting I think it's going to happen because I'm always thinking this way. I think we're going to kind of right the ship. We had such a big COVID drop and other variables that were taking place. I think we're going to see a steady increase, and this year's an indication that we're back on that kind of a track. But I'll definitely send out at the end of this week. It'll be a little bit more clear, especially all the numbers at the high school level. So that's all I have for today.
Yeah, I called transportation today and they said they had 300 new routes to transfer.
Oh, wow.
To transfer in. Yeah, over the summer they had 300 new requests. So it's definitely increasing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, agenda item 11.01, we have board reports and or comments. Directors? Director?
Sure, I'll kick things off. Yeah, I'd like to thank you both for sharing on the cell phone policy. I'm surprised that already you are noticing impact, and that is really good to hear, because in my opinion, this has the potential to be one of the biggest impacts on student achievement. So please keep us updated if you get wind of something changing, but it's very exciting. And I guess the only update for me is I'm one of those parents that whose child just started kindergarten today. So now officially a board member with skin in the game, as Jeremiah put it. So it's exciting times.
Well, guys, I'm really excited for this school year. I'm excited to hear your perspectives and keeping your ear to the ground at the high school and kind of just to share that perspective. That's super huge to us to hear those perspectives for students. And as you guys bring that, that helps us make better informed decisions. Your guys' opinions matter. They really do. And so we appreciate the time that you take out of your busy schedules, because I know you are busy, to make this a priority, because it makes an impact for the whole school and for your peers. And so I just appreciate that. Welcome to the team officially, Myron. Excited to have you here and hear from you as well. So excited as well in our household. We had kids ready to go for the school year. A little bit of nervousness as always, but it was really cool to to go to the high school and see a lot of energy. And for the first day of school, same thing with a couple of the elementaries, to get there and visit. Talking with staff as well. Some tired staff at the beginning, end of the first week. There was a lot for them getting ready beyond just the students themselves coming to school. But definitely kind of a good tired of like, okay, we're ready to go. We're ready to get into that. And so I just feel like every year, since I've been a part of the board, I feel like every year there has been, we've had some dark days, we've had some difficult moments, but it has consistently been the positivity, the excitement, and it's building on the previous year, that we're one step in a better direction than we were, whether that's emotionally as a district, whether that's academically as a district, whether that's our organizational structure as a district. And so I think that for a lot of reasons, whether it's someone who works in transportation or facilities, or someone who is a paraeducator in the office, or a teacher, administrator, or a student, seeing that positive movement for our community is really exciting, and that develops some momentum. So for me, that makes me excited to be a part of this, even when we do the boring things that we have to do, or dealing with the difficult things we have to do. I just think it just helps build that momentum of saying, hey, we're making an impact in a good way for the families in our community. And that for me is why I like to be a part of this. And so I'm excited for that. And I just feel like this year again, feeling like that movement in the right direction from a lot of different areas, but it gets me excited.
Okay, there's a lot to share. As always, I always feel like there's a lot. But the optional professional development day, I had the opportunity to go to that and spend time with more of our teachers and staff. And I got to take part in Brett Willie's Ruthless Equity class, which is awesome, because that was a book Sean had passed along to me to read through that he said was amazing. So it was great to sit there and dialogue through that with Brett, and really, what does equity look like? What does it mean when we talk about equity? And I love the way that the book puts it in its definition. It's giving students the tools that they need to succeed to reach a specific goal. And so sifting through that and, what does that look like? So anyway, it was a really good conversation. I'm so glad that so many of our staff stepped up to teach those classes so that I could take part and other teachers and staff could take part as well. I thought that that was really awesome. So it was really fun to be there. And then I got to go to Park Place and Frank Wagner for first days of school last week, which was really awesome. I got to see our new cell phone policy in action at the middle school level. As Christine gently reminded students about the new policy, to put away their earbuds or their cell phones, and helping kids figure out, where do I go to get my class schedule? And I told her, I was like, it's like controlled chaos. You guys are doing amazing at this. So it was really fun to see them in action. And then even at Frank Wagner, I just have to do a shout out to our bus drivers once again, because there's still construction going on. It was supposed to be done by this morning, I think, but just how they have had to navigate that and different things and new bus routes and all of that, it's a lot to scramble and do. And so I know that they are constantly busy and always doing that, and just super appreciate them and all that they do for our students. So, but I mean, even the staff at Frank Wagner just dealing with the first day hiccups and little things and keeping, positive smiles on their faces and getting to see all the kids as they're coming back. My favorite part is the outfits. I love it when the kids show off their outfits. There was one girl, she had light pink in her hair and she had light purple, and her backpack was light purple and her clothes were light pink, and she just matched from head to toe, and it was the cutest thing. And others that were really excited to show off their backpacks or new shoes or just different things that they got. So, and just how excited so many of them were to come back and see people that they knew and that they cared about and knew cared about them, as they're giving, each other big hugs and high fives and all of that good stuff. So it's always a bucket filler to go and be in classrooms. And then today to be able to go to Freiland's for kindergarten first day. I was telling Sean that the song that kept playing in my head, and for those of you who know it, Darius Rucker, "It Won't Be Like This for Long," as he sings about, my daughter's clinging to my leg, and as the teacher peels her off of me, I say, "What can I do?" And she says, "Oh, don't you worry, this will only last a week or two." And there was a little girl that was doing that today. And I just remember my heart feeling for, her mama who was in the moment and trying to get her in. But I had to kind of smile out of remembrance of those things, and knowing that, she'll grow and she'll learn and it'll be great. But it was really fun to experience the kids who are really excited and the kids who are a little more, timid and maybe unsure. But we have such great staff there, and the teachers did an amazing job with that. So just huge shout out to them, because I know that that's not easy always to deal with either, but they always do it with such grace and with such love and kindness. So I really appreciate that. And I'm really looking forward to football games and to getting into more schools and just seeing all the amazing things that are going on. I know there's always work to do, and there's always things that we're going to strive for and goals that we have with our strategic plan, but I feel like we're really making such good progress. We have an amazing team. We have amazing building leaders. We have amazing teachers who are willing to put in this work. And so, yeah, I'm always excited and hopeful and look forward to all that the new year has to bring.
Thanks, Molly. Just have a few things. To your point, it's really exciting to also see the parents. It looks like there's a lot more parent involvement, or parents are, I have a freshman, and so lots of parents out there. Shout out to the staff up there who I said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't get a first day picture of him." So I went to take the picture in the front office, and then I start tearing up. And I have to be like, I have to go by. And they were so kind and so sweet to me. And so like, I can't even talk about it, but they were so great. So another mom, and they just held space for that. So I just appreciate our staff that is holding space for all of the things and just doing it with so much kindness. To your point. Also so cool that 4 out of 5 of us are current parents in the school district. That is so special. We go around to WASDA events and they tell me how different that is for our district. And so I think that's really neat. Take the next step. Sarah Lundstrom emailed me and asked me to share that Take the Next Step is having their 2nd annual fundraising event, and asked that I invite all the directors and Sean and Holly, to Cheers to Change, an evening with purpose. And it will be October 25th at 7 p.m. at Song River here in Monroe. I'm really excited for you guys as student directors this year, and kind of wanting to dive in and see how we can continue to represent all the student voices, not just Monroe High School, but we have like Sky Valley leaders. And so just curious how we can use those opportunities to, make sure that we're hearing from everyone. And Sean, I wanted to shout you out. You did an amazing job with staff and getting them excited. And I think you are so skilled with your transparency and accountability and still hope. And it's just like a huge, like amazing chicken soup. I don't know. But you do a really great job of it's warm and fuzzy and also like, let's do great things for kids. So thank you for doing that. You're an amazing leader and we're very lucky to have you here. And it is now 5:45 p.m. You guys, it's not always this short. I don't know how we did it. Yeah, don't give your hopes up. We're not setting you up here. All right, and it's 5:45. Tonight's meeting is adjourned.